The maddest Moist Critical has ever been. Let's see why.
I look like a crazy person right now. I just got back from the gym because I needed to blow off some steam. Fair warning, I'm about to start screaming and spitting. This is probably the most emotion you will ever see from me. I'm about to get animated like a Pixar character, red in the face with steam coming out of my ears, because I am infuriated. I am livid. I've made a couple videos bringing you up to speed on a situation I've been dealing with US immigration. In a nutshell, our esports team, Moist Esports, has one of the best Apex rosters in the world right now. We're second place in NA, and we're in a really good position to win the major. But
second place in NA? Does that actually make you good? Honest question time. It's like Americans being the best at their own version of football who only they play. You know, yeah, technically you're good at it, but it's America, so does it actually count? I honestly don't know. Also, does anyone care about Apex Legends at this point? I have a feeling Apex Legends Prime just, kind of has passed us a long time ago at this point.
But the major is happening on US soil, and the red-blooded patriots at US immigration refuse to let our team come in. Our team...
Well, yes, because obviously you can only come into the US illegally and then it's good. How do you not know this?
...is Australian. So we were initially declined and had to pivot, get them to Canada so they could compete in NA this split. And we resubmitted, and our resubmission has just been declined again for legitimately no real reason, because the fucking...
What do you mean? There's so many asylum seekers coming into America already and you think you deserve those spots? No! No! Illegal crossers from Mexico currently deserve those spots. How dare you even think that your team, that's probably, by the way, white, deserves that? Oh, so sad. So bigoted, obvious. It just makes me sick, Moist Critical. This is so wrong.
Glue-eating, crack-smoking, coke-snorting, lobotomite morons at U.S. immigration just...
I mean, giving them a description like that, you didn't exactly narrow it down.
Don't want them in the country for whatever reason they're drumming up here. We have been working with the best lawyers in the industry, the best lawyers on this fucking planet that specialize in this field, and none of them can believe that we've been declined again.
I mean, I think those lawyers are just really good at pretending they're the best lawyers at this point in that case.
They've never had these issues before, so they're as stunned as we are. We even have one of the highest level executives at EA going to bat for us with US immigration, lobbying for us to try and get our team in here because our team is very important to the esport because we are so highly ranked. And even with the goddamn Avengers on our side, US immigration slams the door in our face and turns us away like it's a lacrosse house party in college.
Well, to be fair, they would probably not turn that away at least.
They're Australian gamers. We're not trying to sneak in fucking Viltrumite aliens. What is the issue?
That is the issue! You should be trying to sneak in Viltrumite aliens. My lord, is it really that hard to understand modern days?
Gadzooks, I would hate to meet our U.S. immigration agent in real life. It'd be like meeting Voldemort. It'd be like meeting Scrooge. Like an absolute joyless fucking husk of like a zombie. It can't even be a real soul. There's no way there's a human being that's handling our case. It's not possible. Because there is no reason we would keep being declined. They're not even giving us reasons that make any sense at all. Not to us.
I want to hear the reasons. I really want to hear the reasons, though.
It's not to the lawyers, not to anybody. Nobody. And no other esports team has had this problem. Every other org that has international players got in...
Well, maybe Nancy Pelosi is betting on a different team, Moist Critical. Maybe Moist Esports is not her favorite brand of esports. I would not be surprised if Nancy Pelosi also places sports bets, by the way.
They split. They fucking speed ran it. Meanwhile, we can't. We literally can't. I'm convinced that if Jesus Christ resurrected right now, U.S. immigration would turn him away. He wouldn't be...
Yeah, that's pretty obvious, yes.
...allowed in here. We'd never see him. Now, let me slow down real quick, because maybe you guys aren't understanding why this is such a big deal. Our team is one of the best in the world. And this major...
America
is huge. It's massive. And obviously, we're very passionate about this game and this esport. So they need to get into the country to play in this major because it's an in-person land. They can't compete from Canada. It's happening in America, the home of the fucking cheeseburger and the Budweiser. It's happening here. So they need to be here physically to compete in it. No holograms, no force ghosts, no AI, duplicate, replicants, nothing. It's got to be them, flesh and blood.
Very non-progressive.
Which is off the table now. I think a lot of people had a bit of confusion with the last video I made about this because the Apex boys, our team, has been in America before. We've even made videos together with them at our warehouse. But there's a difference because they were only here for like 2 weeks. I think it was even less than 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then the major was overseas. So they weren't here for a long time. This time around, we needed a different process because they were going to play the whole split in NA. So it needed to go through an entirely different procedure to allow them to stay here for that period. And since we keep getting declined, they are now no
Just get them green cards. You can probably order that online.
longer allowed to just come here temporarily. All of that's halted because they're under our Moist Esports blanket. Now they can't come here just for like that 2 weeks or anything. It's totally different. It's all changed, which is why we had to work with so many lawyers to try and get this process moving, and we just kept getting declined. So now they can't come into the country for this major. They couldn't even show up on the day to compete. Plus, they wouldn't want to do that anyway because they
How about just doing the normal thing? Book a ticket, go in, say you're a tourist, and just stay forever. It's not like anyone's gonna kick you out.
want time to practice, obviously. So that leaves us with only one fucking option left. And
The
that's to
Mexican
cut
border.
our team. We have to release one of the best teams in the entire Apex circuit. Because that's the only way they're going to be allowed in the country. They can come here as long as they're not being represented by us. As long as they are not represented by any org right now, they can come here and compete. So that's our only option, because we obviously want the best for these guys. We want them to shine at the major. So in order to do that, we have to let them go. It's like that fucking scene in Pokemon when Ash sets down the Pikachu and runs away crying. That's us. That is literally what we have to do with our team right now. We have to cut them so that way they can compete at the major. Because we're out of time. We can't resubmit again because this process is abominably fucking slow. Weeks just to get 2 sentences back from the U.S. immigration dinosaurs, the fucking fossils
Yeah, sounds about right for the US government.
that are just bones and dust in those chairs at the agency there. Like, we can't do this again because we don't have time. The major's right around the corner. So, we are officially releasing the Moist Apex squad. Unfortunately, we got the bad ending to this fucking playthrough here. And it's no fault of our own, by the way. We did everything by the books. We worked with other orgs, too. And so many different lawyers that specialize in this. And we did
Shouldn't have done it by the books, okay? Like, just send them to the border crossing.
everything right. And still got slapped by U.S. immigration raid bosses. Ridiculous. So, I actually cooked up a theory. One that a couple of lawyers actually agreed with me on as the most likely culprit for why we kept getting the
Well, yeah, the lawyers are gonna agree with you because they want you to like them. They're lawyers. No, you know, they're gonna like say things that you like.
declined and are still currently rejected. Our name. I
Moist?
hypothesized this in the last video I made, but I wasn't entirely subscribing to that belief until now. The name Moist Esports may have had a role in us being rejected. May be the only reason we were rejected. At U.S. immigration, it all falls onto your particular agent. It is entirely their discretion whether or not you are allowed entry into the country with whatever you're submitting.
So, what? The agent thought that they're tied to prostitution, maybe, or something?
And whatever you're doing. You have an individual agent that handles your case. It is highly possible, and according to some lawyers, not unusual, for them to decline things based on very trivial reasoning. And they never conveyed that the name was an issue to us, by the way. That would be something that's so petty that they probably would never put it in writing because it's fucking embarrassing and shameful. But it is possible that the name Moist is the reason why. Because moist is a word that is a little yucky to people, makes them feel a little icky. So whoever was handling our case maybe just really didn't like that word, didn't take us seriously, and said, nope, we won't be
Well, that's as much as I would expect from America, if I'm being completely honest. So, yeah, why not?
dealing with them. Fuck them. And I think that's the most likely possible explanation for this at the moment. Because there's nothing else. There is actually nothing else that could have possibly gone awry in this process on our end. I hope the ghoulish heathen in charge of our case is proud of themselves for this. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just yanking your chain. The only thing I hope for the urinal cake that handled this case is that they get fired. That is the only solace I will find here, is if I learn that at some point whoever took this case is let go from U.S. immigration, because the country would be much better for it. I think they are so bad at their job that it borders on being criminal. Like, they should be charged with treason for how poorly they've handled this case. 6 months. 6 months of work. Well, a little less than 6 months. And never once did they give us a real reason for why we were declined. The reasons they gave us were nonsensical. And when we
Come on, I want to hear the reasons. They probably are funny. Like, come on. Moist, give us the sweet reasons. I want to hear them.
were inquired for more information to rectify those problems, we submitted above and beyond the requirements, and still got declined numerous times. I think this whole experience should be pretty eye-opening to a lot of people out there, to the blatant corruption in U.S. immigration. Like, this is so bad that it's all...
This would not be considered corruption, by the way, by any standard. This could be
almost...
this could be considered malpractice, maybe, but not necessarily corruption. Corruption would imply that, you know, someone's willingly forsaking his duty and obligations to not let them in for some kind of personal gain, benefit, or whatever in this case. Seemingly, that's not happening. Unless maybe Hillary... Does Moist Esports have incriminating evidence on Hillary Clinton? Oh no, Moist, run for the hills! They're gonna get you! They're never gonna let you in, and if they let you in, you're not gonna stay in for long! Above ground, at least.
Comical.
Oh.
Like, if it wasn't so incredibly detrimental to our organization, I would probably find it laughable. Like, that's how awful, horrible it is, and how bad of a state U.S. immigration is in. Like, just take a step back and really analyze this.
No.
The best lawyers in the world that specialize in this field in particular were unsuccessful in getting squeaky clean Australian gamers into the country, even when the game...
What if they weren't squeaky clean? What if these people were actually killers and whatnot? Or worse, Trump fans? Maybe they have, like, you know, an extensive tweet history of praising the orange man bad. That would be bad.
They're competing in has the highest level executives saying to U.S. immigration, no, they need to be here, they should be here. All of these extremely powerful parts working together to try and get them into...
I mean, EA is a big company, but EA does what it is told it needs to do by other corporations that are actually powerful. EA itself is not something that, you know, anyone cares about, in my opinion.
The country, and they couldn't do it multiple times. Now imagine that for someone normal. Just normal, average Joes trying to get into the country and they have to deal with U.S. immigration. What fucking hope is there? What chance do you have? That's going to be like a 20-year process bare minimum. That's inexcusably awful. What a broken fucking machine. The ice cream machines at McDonald's work better than the U.S. immigration process. It's so fucking stupid. I'm actually hitting a full-blown Porky Pig Scatman right now. I'm getting so heated.
The hell is that? Actually, I don't want to know to a degree.
Like, it's an insult to the word stupid. Moonfall, Madam Web, The Room, that's stupid. This, it's a...
Madam Web is a masterpiece. How dare you? Everything there is perfect and is amazing and makes sense. How dare you say Madame Web is bad? No wonder they didn't let your team in, because they're all probably people who can't even appreciate the fine arts.
On a whole new level. It's in a different dimension, the fucking sixth dimension of stupidity. It's a whole new ballgame. Like the fucking poop farter that handled our case. It's giving me a headache. I'm actually going caveman braid. I'm becoming Cro-Magnon man right now. Just call them a fart pooper or whatever. Like, it's just, I'm running out of words in the English language to express the frustration at how incompetent this whole process has been on their end. So yeah, anyway.
That is hilarious. Anyway, yeah, well, this was funny. 10 out of 10, Moist Critical. 10 out of 10. But no, seriously, that is actually a thing that, if you have like a name that's like that, that you may get not access into the country, may not get access. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, if with a name like Moist Esports, there is a chance that the name really does play a name. That is not a joke. I have heard about situations similar. Admittedly, mostly I have heard that about China and whatnot, but still, it is possible. It is possible. In any case, it's hilarious. Anyway, this was Quizzer Said. This was Moist Critical, and have a nice day. Bye bye.